Hello, my name is Jessica Petrie and I am a Vinyasa and restorative yoga teacher at Yoga Next Door. I am here today to share a 10-minute standing yoga stretch with you, mostly standing. We will end our little stretch in the chair again, but my goal is to get you up and get you moving and energize you a little bit more for the rest of your day today. So I invite you to stand up. If you are wearing shoes, I highly recommend you take them off. And we're gonna come into our feet and just stand for a moment in mountain pose. So bringing some energy up from the feet, through the legs, lifting and opening through your pelvis, finding a long spine, opening through your chest, relaxing the shoulders down the back, palms facing outward, gently tucking your chin and lifting the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Closing your eyes and dropping into your breath. So just completely focusing your mind on your inhale and exhale. And trying to grow your breath so you're finding a more expansive inhale where you really feel the belly rise, and a longer, slower exhale. So let's set an intention to maintain this expanded breath for our period of stretching here today. So the first stretch that we're going to do is a forward fold. And I invite you to feel like your forehead is really heavy and it's pulling your head down, and you're tucking your chin in and crunching in through your neck. And then we'll let the weight of the head pull our shoulders forward, so we're beginning to round through the upper back. And as the upper back comes farther down, we bend more into the middle back. And then you're probably going to hit a point where you're halfway down, and if you shift your hips up and back a little bit, you can find a little more length and extension. So maybe your fingertips come down and brush the floor. But I invite you now to find ragdoll arms, clasping opposite elbows, and just letting your head be a weight to release your spine here, letting it hang heavy, feeling some tug on the back of the legs as they open. And then we're gonna roll back up to standing, but we're gonna do it just as slowly as we came up. So inhale, begin pushing into the legs and lifting up. And you'll reach that halfway point and shift your hips back in line with the rest of the body, and then stack one vertebra at a time, bringing your shoulders up last, maybe shrugging and rolling them back, releasing the neck and bringing the gaze up to the ceiling. And then we'll lift the head back to a neutral position. You can find a couple more shoulder rolls here because they feel so nice. And now we're going to do a similar stretch down both sides of the body. So let's begin on the right hand side, and we're going to relax the right ear down towards the right shoulder, and then drop the shoulder, crunch into the right hand side of your body, bending your right knee and continuing to sink down through the right hand side. And then we're going to inhale our left arm up towards the ceiling. And we're going to create the sensation now that somebody has a hold of your left hand and pulls you back up to standing. So we're lifting through the left hand side of the body to straighten through the right, straightening the knee, uncrunching through the waist, releasing through the shoulder and the neck and the head. And then you can bring the left shoulder back down, left arm back down. Find a couple more shoulder rolls in both directions, and then we'll go down to the left. So finding the breath in and out through the nose, lowering left ear to left shoulder, crunching into the left hand side of the neck, and melting down into the left hand side of the body, bending your left knee, So you can drop down a little farther. And then with a nice straight right leg, inhale your right arm up to the ceiling. Pausing here in full extension in both directions. And then we'll use that right arm to create the sensation that we're lifting the left hand side of the body back up with the right arm, bringing your shoulder, your neck, your head up last, and then bringing the right arm down. Finding a couple shoulder rolls. And then if you're on a mat, fantastic. If you're not, don't worry. We're gonna step the right foot forward and your left foot back. The left foot is gonna be at a 45-degree angle, and we're rotating our pelvis to face towards the front knee in the same direction as your front knee. And then we're gonna inhale the arms up and lift into a back bend here. And then we'll come back to center and open to a warrior two. So now your left foot is parallel and your right toes are pointing forward. We're open through the pelvis here, and we're bringing some bend into the front knee, but keeping the knee over the right ankle, opening your arms wide, turning your gaze to look out over your right fingertips, breathing here. And then we're gonna straighten the front leg, tuck your left arm behind the back, inhale your right arm up and over into reverse warrior or reverse triangle stretch. And then we'll come back up to center, and we're gonna shift the hips to the left, stretch your right arm out to the right, and tip into a triangle pose. So bring your right hand to rest gently on your right leg somewhere, inhaling your left arm up to the ceiling and peeking up at it with your gaze. And then we'll rise back up to standing, hands to your hips, and we're going to step back to your left foot and rotate the other way now. So left foot forward, right foot back. You guys probably are just continuing to face towards your computer screen, but we're gonna do the same postures on the second side. So orienting your body so your hips are pointing in the same direction as your left knee, bringing some bend into your left knee, and then we'll inhale the arms up, lifting into a back bend here, bring your gaze up to the ceiling, and then we'll come back to a neutral spine, pivoting on your back foot, opening through your hips and finding warrior two. So your right foot is parallel, your left toes are pointing out, and if you were it's like you're standing on a balance beam, and both feet are on the balance beam, and then we're bringing the ribs over the hips, shoulders over your ribs, extending your arms wide, looking out over the left fingertips, finding your breath here. And then we'll straighten the left knee, tucking your right arm behind you. Inhale your left arm up and over to a reverse triangle stretch. Stretching out the left hand side of the body. And then we'll come back up to center. Shift your hips to the right. Stretch your left arm out. And then tip your left arm down towards your front leg, letting it land where it will. And then stretch your right arm straight up to the ceiling. And see if you can rotate your neck up to look up towards your top hand. Breathing here. And then we'll rise back up to standing, bringing your hands to your hips and stepping your left foot in to meet your right. And we're gonna do one more set of forward folds before we come into the chair. So I invite you to sweep your arms up, exhale, forward fold. Just letting your head and neck release. And then we're gonna ground the right fingertips into the floor, bending your right knee, straightening through your left leg, inhaling your left arm up to the ceiling, and again, turning your neck and your gaze upward if you can. And then we're gonna do the same thing that we did in the side body stretches we started with. We're gonna let that left arm create the sensation that it's pulling the body up to standing. So eventually straightening through your right leg, And rotating that left shoulder forward, joining with the right arm. Exhale, forward fold again. Letting the head and neck go, and then grounding through your left fingertips, bending into your left knee, straightening your right leg. Inhaling your right arm up towards the ceiling, turning your neck and seeing if you can bring your gaze upward as well. And then use the right arm to create the sensation that's pulling the whole body upwards, straightening through the left-hand side. And then turning to face forward and relax your right arm back down. Okay, so got the blood moving. I invite you to find a seat again for a couple quick twists. So I'm right on the edge of my seat with my sit bones. My feet are under my knees. And we're gonna inhale the arms high and exhale, twist over to the right. Bringing your left hand to the outside of your left knee. Right hand is at the back of the chair. And then using those two leverage points to lift through the low back, open through your chest, and again, turn the neck to look out behind you. Here's a couple ways you can enhance this. You can push back into your left palm with your right leg to bring that leg more in line. And you can gently hug your elbows in towards the midline. And then we'll release, inhaling the arms high and twisting in the opposite direction. Right palm to the outside of the left leg, left hand to the back of your chair, lifting through the low back, opening through the chest, turning your neck out to the side, and maybe bringing your gaze a little bit out behind you, pushing the outside of the left knee into the right palm, engaging your elbows in towards the midline, and finding the breath here. And then we'll release, bringing the arms high. Exhale, palms to heart center, stepping your knees wide, and we're gonna do some wide-kneed side bends. So bring your right elbow over to your right knee, inhaling your left arm up and over, staying grounded through your left sit bone here, and making sure your right shoulder is a little forward so you can open through your left shoulder. And again, maybe turn the neck up to look towards the ceiling. And then we'll come up through center and find the same stretch on the left-hand side, grounding left elbow to left knee, rooting down through your right sit bone and inhaling your right arm up and over, stretching through the right-hand side of the body, and turning the gaze up to the ceiling. And then we'll rise back up to center. And we're gonna come into a chair child's pose. So you can bring your knees back in, but not all the way back in, still leaving some space for your torso to come forward. Inhale your arms high, engage the belly to protect the low back, and exhale, forward fold. Maybe your fingertips can rest on the mat. Maybe your palms can, or the floor. Maybe you're finding those ragdoll arms, holding opposite elbows. Wherever you are, keeping your sit bones grounded in the chair, but letting your head and neck release. And finding some more opening for the hips here. Finding your breath. And then we'll slowly unravel the whole spine, lifting back up to seated, finding a couple more shoulder rolls, bringing knees back in line with the hips, and bring your hands onto your knees, gently tucking your chin, closing your eyes, finding the breath in and out through your nose. Feeling the belly rise and fall. Feeling the ribs expand and contract with each inhale and exhale. Sending the breath into the back body and creating movement and spaciousness there. Opening your eyes if you have them closed like I do. Thank you all for joining me for this quick little yoga stretch. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.